I don't respect my girlfriend. Over 7 years I have found I have no respect left for her. She's 29, I'm 40. We met at a bar, she pursued me. The age gap always bothered me, but she is tall and appeared very mature. I'm 6 feet 8 inches, she's 6 foot 2, we had been off and on but before the pandemic she found out she was pregnant. At 6 months old, my son started having seizures. I rushed him to the hospital and she tried to talk me out of it. She was concerned he'd test positive for cocaine because she had been using while breastfeeding him. Fast forward, she admits to having been using since she was pregnant. The child is diagnosed with tubular sclerosis, not caused by her usage. I don't report her due to fear I might lose custody in the process, but I take the kid, and tell her to stay away until she's clean. Fast forward, she gets clean, but only after having her car repossessed, being evicted, and losing her job. My son has brain surgery to remove the tumor causing his seizures but loses his ability to talk due to the area they removed. I let her back in the house. I sell her my vehicle for $1 and I platform her to go back to school. Fast forward. My son's 4 years old now. She's been clean for years and is on her way to finishing nursing school. During the pandemic I leave my job managing bars and find a logistics gig that is 7 days straight, and 12-hour shifts with 7 days off afterwards. I specifically chose this job as it allows me my parenting time no matter what happens. Despite her personal growth, I don't believe in her, I've never forgiven her, and I plan for worst-case scenario at all times. I do all these things so my son has the best chance for a normal life, but I only see her as a selfish monster and a narcissist, and probably always will. I broke and finally told her how I feel. She responds that we can talk to someone or end it, but she has no means of paying her own way and finishing school. I've agreed to go to couples therapy, but it's a waste of time and money because I know she only wants to maintain the relationship to further her own goals. It's easier on the kid if we stay together, but I don't love her, respect her, or even want to be around her. I pushed these feelings to the side as long as I could, but it's evident she's only concerned with herself. And despite her being clean, this part of her personality is what made it possible to do hard drugs when pregnant. She's a shit person and I can't wait until she's no longer a part of my everyday life. My GF gave me an ultimatum and it broke our relationship. I come from a country where boyfriend/girlfriend couples are not respected, because you can't truly be together, get an apartment together, sleep in the same bed together, etc. because the parents won't allow it without marriage. Me and my GF are 23 years old, she's been asking me to marry her for a year now. I keep telling her it's very early, we just became adults and this is a giant decision we need to think about it, but she's ignoring everything I say and keeps pushing it onto me because she wants us to move together, but I haven't even told my parents I even have a girlfriend, let alone I want to marry her. After quite a while of being together, last night on the phone she gave me an ultimatum: either I marry her this month so we can do all the things we've said we'll do together, or she'll break up with me and find a man that will marry her. I said no, I can't right now because I just came out of school, I just started working, I've barely seen the real world or experienced anything yet. I want to save up money, buy a car, take care of everything else first and be secured for the marriage in our future, but she refused all of that. She insulted my manhood and said I hide behind society's bullshit, I'm a mama's boy that's too afraid to tell them about her, etc. etc. She said a lot of stuff out of anger so I didn't take them to heart. The truth is, my whole life all I knew was school, sleep, eat, repeat. I never experienced anything growing up. I'm finally an adult with my own salary. I want to go do all the crazy things on my bucket list and have the time of my life until 28, then get married when I'm ready to settle down. But she's extremely desperate and in a rush and just wants to get married now, and that's not what I want. Needless to say, she dumped me, closed the call on me, and I haven't heard from her since. Since she knows I don't want marriage right now, she's probably gonna move on and find someone else. Did I do the right thing? Or did I fuck up? My mother complimented my dick size. So I'm 24, my mother is 51. I've been having a really bad rash on my upper thigh, not heat rash, almost looks like ringworm, but I've had that before and hasn't been as itchy. Anyways, me not having a girlfriend in forever and stressing about this, asked my mother if she could look at it real quick. I covered my dick so she couldn't see, but as I'm pulling my pants down and about to cover my dick, she says, well, you definitely got those genes from your father. Lamau, I love my mother, but this just threw me off completely. She doesn't really joke like that. Has anyone had a similar experience? Really wish I was making this up. I had a hoe phase after I was widowed and I'm ashamed. In November 2021 my husband was killed by a drunk driver when walking home. Obviously, it turned my world upside down. I spent a while avoiding friends, work, men and being outside in general. But about a year ago I decided to download Tinder. I used a fake name and selected the option that hides your profile from people who have your number, as I was, and I'm terrified of people finding out and judging me. I ended up matching a guy and I was only planning on talking to him, but he ended up talking me into meeting him for a drink date. I ended up going home with him. Since then I've done this with several more guys. I'm enjoying myself. But I also feel quite ashamed, I still love my husband and I really miss him. We were each other's first everythings. If he was still here I know I wouldn't have ever done anything like this. But a part of me really likes it, and it makes me feel gross. I'll probably never tell any of my friends about this, the only people who know are my therapist and one of my sisters. I just wanted to get this off my chest though. I hope this wasn't too long. Thanks for reading my rambles. I just got fucked in court. I'll start off by saying it's not that big of a deal, $300 fine. But the reason for it just feels like theft. I took my kid to the beach one day. Been to this beach hundreds of times over the past decade I've lived here, never had an issue. Got a $300 fine for parking too close to the ocean. Operating a motor vehicle within 300 meters of an ocean shore is a finable offense per the Ocean Trespass Act, which is not even remotely common knowledge. I fought the ticket since I was in a parking lot. It's a sand lot at the end of a public road off a rural highway, and there was no signs posted to indicate parking there was an issue. No reasonable expectation for people to know it's not, right? Ignorance of the law is not a defense, so the judge said, and as it's a procedural law there is no nuance to the matter. So I'm stuck with the fine. I stuck around to see what would happen with the other two individuals charged with the same offense. Curiosity kills the cat here. No judgment on these people. Appearing in court is stressful, but they cried in court before the judge and suddenly, ignorance of the law is now something we can consider. So they had their fines dismissed and I can go fuck myself. Not looking for any legal advice here. It would be a waste of money to pursue.